How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you my review for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers once and always. And before we go any further, please do not forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell right there to be notified of more videos such as this one. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit late on this. Came out April 19th, but wow. It feels like it was yesterday when this was announced. Yes, I have on my Power Rangers movie I think it was 2017. This movie really wasn't bad. Just the Zords look weird, and I really liked the cast they had for them. I wish this could have done better because I wanted to see Tommy, whether Tommy was a girl or a boy. I didn't really care. I just wish we could have saw Tommy. Man, so right off the bat, I want to talk about who's not in here. Now, we already know about the tragic passing of Jason David Frank. That is my Dragon Dagger right there. I think I did I do a video about him and Kevin Conroy? I can't remember if I did, but those were two. They both passed away literally one after another. But in this movie was filmed before he passed. And funny enough, he and oh my goodness, Amy Jo Johnson, Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, the original Pink Ranger, did not show up in this film. Now, according to Amy Jo, they couldn't come to an agreement. And it was implied, at least on her side in the beginning, it was implied she wasn't offered enough money. And then when people were kind of, the rumblings came back up again when this film was coming out, on Netflix, mind you, that, she said, look, maybe I'm just too old to want to put on spandex again. Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I don't want to do that. Look, for whatever reasons, she didn't want to do it. And that's fine. I mean, if you're like me and you're still bitter about her writing Tommy that Dear John letter, you didn't really care. I kid, but people have their reasons. But that doesn't mean she's not in here. And even though, may you rest in peace, Jason David Frank is also not in here. They technically are in here. There are shots of them from the past. There's one particular shot that I will get to, and their voice clips are in here, like ootsie, yeah, and they're fighting and all that. That's in here because those are those characters. We just don't see them without their helmets. As a matter of fact, is his name Austin St. John, the original Red Ranger? He's technically in this too, but he's not in this. So for whatever reason, I don't want to call them three bigwigs, but those three weren't in here. And that's okay. You don't really, I don't say you don't really miss them. Once you know the behind the scenes stuff, it's pretty obvious. But let's talk about the plot of this movie. The plot is in 2022. Power Rangers get a distress call from Billy Cranston, the Blue Ranger. The originals, they come down. Trini, Kimberly, Jason, Tommy, and of course, Zach come and save his butt. Rita's back. She's now Robo Rita. And in the midst of she's about to, I don't know if I can get away with saying the K word here. She's about to do in Billy. You know what? Forget it. It's not like I'm monetized anyway. She's about to kill Billy. And Trini comes in and takes the hit. When I say Trini is dead, like, there's no body. She just poof, just explosion. Although it was slightly implied that she was exploded off of the edge of the cliff. Just kind of looked like she got poof, blown up to me. And the film takes place a year later after Billy and Zach have to figure out how they're going to tell Trini's daughter, Min. And Trini was all that Min had. Who's the dad? Who knows? My base from the comics, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comics, I kind of always put Billy and Trini together, especially the comic that showed what was going on when Kimberly wasn't the Pink Ranger before she wrote Tommy that letter. That comic, really good. I wish I had remembered to write down the title of it, because the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comics are really good. And this film is more or less bore from people like myself, because this is celebrating the 30th anniversary. I am 35. So yeah, this is for us older fans, but it's something that you can have your kids watch, right? it does not shy away from death. No cursing. I noticed that. Not a single curse word, not a sugar honey water iced tea, not a mother fifer, not a fife yourself. Just, they do not shy away from saying death or I'm going to kill you. Rita's actively trying to kill them. Not send you to another dimension. No, not that. Not destroy you. No, actively try to murder them, which is interesting. But a year later, she's back. She captures some of the Rangers, the ones that remain, which is just Billy and Zach. Got to go get help, and this is where we come back. So we're using the real life passing of I don't want to say her name wrong. It's Tui. I think it's Tui. Thui. When she passed in a car accident years ago. So we're using her actual passing as, it's kind of a way, I guess, for them to grieve for their fallen friend. But given that Jason David Frank passed as well before this came out, this is kind of like a way of, I guess, celebrating everyone, which is interesting. I have a lot of nerdy stuff to nerd out about on here, but let's talk about the good, right? The acting was great. Literally, everyone who's an adult in here acts phenomenally. Even the person who's being Alpha 8 and Alpha 9, great. It's funny because even the goofy monsters, the acting's great. Only complaint is that actress from Men. Now here is the rub. I don't know if someone told her, act how they acted in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, meaning be campy, be hammy, right? Because she was very much Disney Channel, Nickelodeon kids level acting, where it's like a level of overacting, right? But everyone else was just great. She's just the one where I'm saying, did you all tell her to act this way? Like, she was acting like modern actors for the modern Power Ranger stuff, which I tend to watch Super Sentai because I prefer that Japanese acting. And I prefer the original plots now over to the stuff with Power Rangers. Power Rangers comics are pretty good though. Please pick those up if you haven't. Battle for the Grid, fantastic. Wow. But that's just the only thing, and it feels like it was a choice, right? But she does have she has major interactions with Zach and Billy. Zach is now her guardian. You want to know what Zach was doing? Zach actually worked in the not the White House, but worked in DC. He was a senator, right? That whole Peachtree thing, hey, it worked out for Zach. Billy has his own company, Cranston Technologies, which came up with cloaking technology. Works close with Space Patrol Alpha, which is what Aisha and Adam, the second yellow and second black ranger, they work for. He's doing some pretty cool stuff. Rocky, the second red ranger, he is a fireman. Catherine, if you all didn't know, because she's shown up. Catherine, whose real name is actually Kat Sutherland, she showed up several times for some of these reunion shows. Technically, her and Tommy did get married. They had a kid named JJ. And I don't know what Jason was doing or Kimberly was doing, but we have the people on screen. We know what they were doing. So acting was great. The music was good, but now, as I thought about it, the original person who did the soundtrack and did the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme, Ronald Aaron Wasserman, we should have heard more of his music in there. And I'm going to end up rewatching this again, but I don't remember hearing things like, was it 5 for 1, Fight, We Need a Hero. I don't remember hearing all of that. That stuff is on my workout mix too. I don't remember hearing any of that. Music wasn't terrible, wasn't bad. It was passable to the point where I didn't listen to it and go, ew, it sounds horrible. And the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme did play at the end. That there was some moments where it was kind of the sad theme, but the full theme plays at the end. I love the homage they did to the original opening at the end, showing what they looked like in the past and what they look like now in 2022, 2023. Even incorporating Min as the Yellow Ranger, which I'll get to her becoming a Yellow Ranger in a moment. But that was great. I already mentioned the bad part, but also good part was the fight scene. The opening fight scene was good. Actually, every time they go to fight is actually really good, including Min's fight scenes. I gotta hand it to her, even though the acting was kind of for me. Her fights were great. The choreography was amazing. I have no complaints about that. Where we kind of fall off, it's some of the 3D effects, right? So the giant monster fight, the Zords look bad, man. Particularly the T-Rex. The T-Rex does not look as good as it did back then. And granted, the original sequence was of the Super Sentai Zoo Ranger. That was that whole thing reused, right? But even then, when they started having to remake these things, having these things shipped over with people in suits, it still looked better. And I kind of wish they would have did some practical effects instead, and then mixed it in with some of the 3D stuff. Pull a Star Wars, because man, in that opening Megazord fight against the giant Snizzard looked kind of bad. Even how they finished it off with like a slashed and stab, it didn't really get stabbed. It just kind of looked like it got poked and then it exploded. Yeah. But everything else when you're not in the robot looked great. Rita getting stabbed, Rita getting shot, everything else looked great. Just that looked off. I don't know if that's where the Netflix budget fell off or not. Where am I at? Let's talk about some cameos. So, Snizzard, I mentioned Snizzard. Rita, Robo Rita, brings back Minotaur and Snizzard. They're both robofied. They're both stronger than ever. Snizzard has these snakes that takes the Rangers and then they shrink down. And Rita has this machine that's draining their energy. Now, you think she's trying to get the originals. No, she's getting any and all Power Rangers because they're attacking all around the world looking for the OGs. So Billy and Alpha 9 put in the Banderas protocol. Banderas is the name of the castle that Rita has on the moon, which is also another plot point that they didn't think to look on the moon for Rita. Because she went back to the moon. I don't know why they didn't think. She probably went back there. Okay. So obviously Tommy, Jason, Kimberly, they were called. But who else was called? So I wrote down these cameos as toys. It was the Black Space Ranger, who was, I don't remember his name, but he was the green Turbo Ranger at first. Then there's the yellow Zeo Ranger, who she became the yellow Turbo Ranger first. I'm sorry, the yellow Zeo Ranger, which was Nikki Bercia, who is Tanya. I was kind of surprised to not see Tanya, but I get it. This is Mighty Morphin. Technically, the character Tanya showed up at the end of the Alien Ranger / Mighty Morphin season that turned into Zeo, but fine, I get it. Technically, she's Zeo, not Mighty Morphin. Bleh. Where else? Where am I at? Lost Galaxy, one of the best seasons, honestly. Lost Galaxy, Time Force, two of the best seasons of Power Rangers ever. If you want some nostalgia and if you stopped watching at Mighty Morphin, I encourage you, go back, watch Lost Galaxy, really good. That doesn't shy away from death either. And watch Time Force, really, really, really good. Which is interesting. I didn't see any Time Force Rangers in this. So, yeah, Lost Galaxy, green, red, blue. We have Dino Thunder red and Dino Thunder white, who were students of Tommy, because he was Dino Thunder black. We have the Lunar Wolf Ranger, one of my favorite Rangers from Wild Force. Watch that too. The Forever Red is in the Wild Force season. Really good. The Yellow Space Ranger, who I mentioned was the yellow Turbo Ranger. And then the Phantom Ranger. My only thing is, and I call them Go Busters. That's a Japanese name. The name was Beast Morphers. Everyone in Beast Morphers but the Yellow Ranger. I did not watch Beast Morphers. I didn't watch. Oh yeah, Beast Morphers. Haven't watched Go Busters yet either, but I'm probably watch Go Busters before I watch Beast Morphers. Sorry, not sorry. Where am I at? Kind of surprised they called the Lunar Wolf Ranger. He's pretty dang strong, but okay. And then it's funny because some of these Rangers and seasons, they lose their powers. But then you have stuff where it's like, oh, well, don't think about that. They got their powers back. Fine, I can suspend disbelief. But it's kind of sad that we didn't get to see like footage of other Rangers fighting putties and stuff like that. Because, you know, the protocol called out to, was it? I can't remember all of the cities from the other seasons, but it called out to literally everyone, not just in Angel Grove, but to Turtle Cove. That's where Lightspeed Rescue is, to several other places. And I found that very interesting. Now, what is Rita's overall goal? Her overall goal, drain the power of the Rangers, and use it to open up a portal to the past right before she escaped from her, right as she's escaping from her space dumpster, to tell her past self how everything goes. And she planned on killing the Rangers in their sleep. She's like, yeah, my 30 years of experience, and then that younger body, we can do things, we can rule. But when she said kill them in their sleep, again, they didn't shy from that. I give you credit, because everything don't need cursing in it, right? But I give you credit for actively going, yeah, death this, death that. We're not shying away from it. Now, I mentioned that. Where are we at here? Where's the themes? I wrote down themes. So we got themes in here about family, meaning not just Trini to men, but Zach quit what he was doing to raise his friend's kid. And she even mentions it. Are you okay with, having left what you were doing to raise a teenager? Wouldn't trade it for the world. They all loved Trini, and that grief is apparent because they come back a year later. That grief is also apparent because Billy blamed himself for her dying. Men also blamed him for her dying. There's a underlying thing about telling the truth regardless of the consequences, because Billy said we can't lie about how Trini passed. She needs to know everything. We need to be upfront to help her get closure. She didn't get closer because all she wanted was revenge. One of the setbacks was that character, because the character wanted to use Trini's morpher. Wasn't going to work because her whole heart was just into revenge. It only started to work once she took a bullet for Billy when Rita tried to kill him again. Which, that moment felt unearned, but I'll get to that. We talk about grief in here. It's not just them grieving Trini. It's the fact that Billy's still grieving Zordon being killed during the Z-Wave, which, gotta give you, for all of the inconsistencies with continuity, that being consistent is pretty cool. Responsibility and responsibility and having restraint. Men still doesn't get it. She's like, why don't we just kill the monsters? Billy's like, we don't use excessive force if we don't have to, which their overall plan of trapping them with a giant magnet was kind of rudimentary, but very reflectant of what they did back in the day. Really great, thorough lines, thorough themes. Let's talk about men for a minute. Her trying to be the Yellow Ranger, which was very obvious, but it felt so unearned when she just magically she takes the bullet for Billy. And they have the conversation at the end of the episode, her saying sorry. And he's like, you didn't tell me anything that I didn't tell myself. Now, granted, she saved this gay couple. The guy said they took my husband. Putties forever took his husband. She ran him over with the car with the rat bug, the new rat bug that flies and all that. And I thought that was interesting. I kind of wish we could have got her stopping, getting out and fighting, because the first time she tried to fight and use the morpher, they kicked her butt until Rocky and Zach came to save her. That would have been a kind of a redeeming moment outside of her hitting him with the car. But her actively trying to murder everything for revenge, granted, see, I understand, I get it. Someone took out my mom or took out someone very close to me, I'd be like, yeah, we should probably get rid of them too. I get it. But part of the whole morphing thing is, they don't use their powers for might. It's even in the song, they use it to defend. So Yeah, that is actually in the song. That's the second verse. So, but this just Min's moment at the end where she gets the power does feel kind of, it feels unearned. But I'll hand it to you, once she has it and she's fighting with them, she doesn't. She's not a copy of her mom at all. She's doing her own thing. The zipping and the stabbing and the zagging. Didn't see a lot of that from Trini. She tried to do her praying mantis style, which as someone that has done kung fu and I has seen praying mantis style. I don't know what school of praying mantis style that was with this, but okay, whatever. You would figure she would have tiger style, right? Which she does the tiger stance when she morphs. Whatever, I can overlook that, just a little idiosyncrasy that I noticed. But still, her natural reaction to the Zord stuff, Billy bringing her along. Billy sat in the middle of the console. I love that Billy was in charge of all this. And this felt very Star Trek-y. Whereas a lot of times we get fantasy, which is like Star Wars. This felt they were using their brains. They're saying, okay, I have a cloaking device. We can use a cloaking device. Hey, I'm gonna call all Rangers, Aisha and Adam with Space Patrol Alpha. It'll take them 6 hours to get there. They don't have time. Well, look, Kat and Rocky, they show up and they're ready to get going, right? Using their brains to solve this issue and then coming to fisticuffs later, going invisible to take out the guards to get to the machine. Really good stuff. Really good stuff in there. Is there any? Bogan Skull did have a cameo. They were on a not a placard, but like a banner. They got ripped through. I tell you, that fight scene where that happened, the putties just chucked a woman off the side of a building. And, Rocky had to go out and get him. Now, the morphing sequence, they did that at least 3 times. Very funny because Rocky just looks tired. Tyrannosaurus. He looks annoyed and pissed. He's like, I can't believe I have to do this again. And y'all stop me from eating lunch. That does come up. And that does come up a lot. There was a little bit of idiosyncrasies because I was saying to myself, well, why isn't Catherine Zeo pink, right? Okay, fine. They made up backup PowerPoints, which one thing to note in here, Zach was all about rules. Like he was saying, well, Zordon said this, Zordon said that. And someone, I think it might have been Billy, well, Zordon's not here right now. All right, so we got to do this our way. Or when they were talking about the duplicate power coins that they made and Rocky and Kat took it, just, they did it just in case someone got captured. And Zach's like, Zordon said, duplicating active powers is a bad thing. I found that interesting that he is very responsible because now he is a parent. He is a parent and he's thinking more responsibly. I don't think he was the most reckless in the group, but he was the one to say we got to take some chances when they were younger. Is there anything else in here that is important? Do see Angel Grove. We do see the juice bar. Ernie was mentioned. May he rest in peace. The guy that played Ernie, he passed away as well. Really, and the one ending part, besides all the nostalgia, the one ending part that did make me tear up. There was a episode where at the end, Kimberly playing the guitar and singing, Amy Jo Johnson actually sings, and Zach joins in with her. That kind of got me because it's all of the originals in this flashback, and it's Jason David Frank and it's Toy. We've seen the pictures of both of them together after he passed. It was in loving memory of both of them. That was actually really, really touching. That end morphing sequence, of course, Min is now the Yellow Ranger. I liked that. It showed, for all the OGs, it showed them when they were younger, then showed them older. That was really good. Really, really good. So what do I want us to go from this? Because, I can't believe I forgot, Christopher, is his name Christopher Yost? I think his name is Christopher Yost. Christopher Yost and, our man, Emmanuel, oh goodness, I can't. Why do I forget? Why do I forget people's real names? The people who play Zach and Billy, Walter Emmanuel Jones and David Yost. Christopher Yost is a comic writer. They both promised that more stuff is going to come. I would love to see, if we're going to try to redo Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, first of all, get Jennifer Ray Frank, get J Ray, Jason David Frank's daughter, get her to be a Green Ranger. That's been a goal of hers, and I think she I believe she's a black belt in Rising Sun Karate. She's acted as his daughter in the Legend of the White Dragon. If you're going to do a Mighty Morphin thing again, bring her in. Please bring her in. Have the old guard teaching this new guard, or be a mix of the two. Two old guys and a bunch of new people. Kind of Extreme Ghostbusters this thing, right? That would be fun. That's where I want to see them go from this. Now, of course, JJ was mentioned in here. JJ is the canonical son of Tommy and Catherine. Maybe JJ's trans, and that's how we get J Ray. Hey, I'm just saying, any way to get her in there. Hey, I don't care if the character's trans. Do it. It's the right thing. Fine. If y'all want to do it like that, fine. They had a daughter, and the daughter wants to be more of a ranger, even though JJ does become the SPD Green Ranger in a comic. Whatever. Fine. But that should definitely be, if have something come from this. It's been 30 years. These people can still act really well, very believable too. It's not like Shakespeare or even Shakespeare at the Park, but stuff is really, really good. Do something with this. And the main reason that Rita even became Robo Rita, and I said before, is Billy couldn't deal with the loss of Zordon. He made a machine with Alpha 8 to bring in the particles from the Z-Wave, and because Zordon was scattered across the universe, the galaxies, well, trying to bring those particles back in, what else got scattered was the evil from Zed and Rita. Remember, a lot of bad guys just got destroyed, but a lot of humanoid bad guys, like Divatox, Zed, and Rita, they got turned into regular people. The evil that was in Rita came back, went into Alpha 8, and that's how she became Robo Rita, which explains why she was able to build things. I was thinking to myself, why would Rita be able to build stuff? That wasn't her deal. Her whole deal was magic. Magic with science make this. That's kind of the fantasy part of it, but yeah. So if he's still searching for Zordon and says Zordon should still be out there, we got to have hope. Perhaps we go further from that, because Zach did say that Zordon was a father figure to all of them, the teenagers with attitude. So yeah, that's where we should continue this. Honestly, bring in a new generation and keep it going. You can keep doing your Dino Fury Thunder stuff. Let's get some Netflix Rangers up in here, right? That's not afraid to handle hard topics, like same-sex couples, or, I'm just saying, it was seamlessly put in there. When he said, my husband, I didn't go, my word, or, oh, your ham fist. No, it's like, yeah, they took my husband. Can you help me out here, please? Which I thought that his husband was played by Roger Craig Smith, who's the voice of Sonic, and also the voice of Chris Redfield from, Resident Evil. The older ones. I thought that's who that was. I don't think it was him, but that would have been cool if Roger Craig Smith was in the Power Rangers. I'm a nerd. I apologize. But yeah, I need to do the Netflix thing. You can be a little bit more serious. You don't have to curse, as we can see, and the thing can be very well. It's actually number 9 in the top 10 of Netflix, at least for this week. It's still going on this weekend. I highly encourage everyone to watch it, but in the end, what do I give this? Men's acting does not bring everyone down. Some of the effects, though, and some of the contrivances, it kind of wears away, because there are moments when I'm watching, I'm just kind of like, I don't know about that. So all in all, I would give this a 4 out of 5. Not perfect, but you know what? It is worth the 58 minutes. That's if you watch the thing from beginning to credits. I watch things all the way through to the credits. It is worth your time. It is worth just a quick little afternoon. I'm more than likely going to rewatch this. I rewatch a lot of old Power Ranger stuff and a lot of other seasons. This is definitely worth it. Please, 4 out of 5. If you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I really, really want to hear from you. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. I thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about a deep piece of my childhood. Just Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It shaped a generation. We're talking about transformations, talking about robots, talking about giant monsters. It doesn't get any better than this. And the fact that we can at least, even if they don't do anything with us again, it was nice to see all of these characters. It was nice to get the second, not I want to say second tier, but seeing the second round of Rangers show up. I hope they find someone else to fill in that role of green. Although, if we're gonna, did anybody forget that technically Tommy should have been the White Ranger, technically? But we won't get into that. I am more of a Green Ranger fan myself, but yeah. Please, I need to see more. I need this to go further. I need us to continue this legacy. So, as always, be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk, all right? Take care. And above all, remember there's someone out there that would rather see you today and talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. All right, there? So, my name's Shane. May the power protect you. And I'll see you next time.